Hello everybody, welcome back to the Snowy Village. Now you'll notice, look at this. Let me get started. Let's get started with this episode. I'm actually really excited for another building because I haven't built a building in a little bit. That was the last one over there, and that's been a few days, and I'm itching to be building some stuff. So what I've done, look at this. Does this look a little bit different? There's something different. You can tell. Is there something different? Can you notice it? All of this now is paved. I did this in a stream, and by the way, I want to quickly just shout out while I get started on the layout of this building that we'll get to eventually. But I want to quickly give a little shout out to people who might not know that we are streaming, because every now and then, it doesn't happen every stream, but every now and then someone's like, oh wow, I didn't realize you streamed. And yes, we do. So I mean, if you're just joining us, if you're new here, welcome guys. We've always got a bunch of new people on the channel here, so welcome. If you're a new person, welcome. And what I was saying is, we always get someone that comes in and says, hey, I never knew you streamed. And, I mean, you know what? If you guys don't know, if I don't tell you, how would you ever know? How would you ever know? You know what I mean? If you're a new person. So, yes, we do stream over on Twitch. There's a link in the description right now if you guys want to check it out. And that's pretty much all I have to do. All I have to say, just check us out. We're on 4 days a week. Normally our streams go for about 6 hours. And, yeah, I have a good time. Seems like everyone else has a good time. So, if you ever feel like joining us for a stream, go ahead, follow us on there, and I'd love to have you guys around with us. But carrying on, let's carry on. What am I building? You probably know. Probably find the title gives everything away, but hey, if you didn't read the title, then good. So, we're building right now a bakery. And the reason I want to build a bakery is, first of all, I think a bakery is a very cool building. It's got a lot of things we could build in it. It's also something that's very much a staple to the town, and not only that, I've got some cool ideas that I want to try out. So first of all, let's discuss what my way of tackling this build's gonna be. All right, so I'm laying out right now what I think is gonna be where the foundation of the build's gonna be, the main supports are gonna go, and I'm just kind of getting a whereabouts for how big this build's gonna be. And I'm thinking I've only done 5 blocks, so 7 blocks actually, if because there's 5 blocks there, so that's from this block over here to this block over here is 5, and then we got that one plus that one, so 7 wide. But it ends up being 5 wide, and I think 5 wide's not quite big enough. Because I want to make a fairly large thing, because what I've found out from building in this village, actually, because I'm learning every day. Every day there's something new. Every day I'm learning something new, build-wise. And hopefully you guys are learning a bit of stuff as well. But what I'm learning right now is building a little bit bigger definitely makes the ability to add that extra detail in. I mean, it's kind of obvious when you think about it, but I always tend to leave it, and I think it's about time that I start acknowledging it a bit more. And I've said this before, but I've got to think about it from the beginning. So there we go. That will mean that the wall will come up over here. Let's just check how wide this feels. We just get the feel for it, alright? So if that's the case, the wall will be in there, and yeah, that's more than enough room. That's actually the perfect amount of room, I would say, for us to work in. Alright, so this is the way I'm tackling it, right? So I want to add a lot of stuff in here, and I've also noticed that I don't want buildings to look ridiculously huge, right? We need to keep scale in this. So here's a building here. Scale is pretty great. I mean, if you consider the size of us compared to the building, it's a fairly good size, you know? Like, look at that. That's a good sized building. Any bigger than that looks a bit ridiculous, comparatively. I mean, if the building has to be bigger, it has to be bigger, but a bakery doesn't have to be so many times larger. Let's look at this one, right? So scale me on that one. Pretty good scale. And if I want to do everything I want to do in this bakery, the bakery could be like that big. But what I want to do is I want to go ahead and dig a little bit underground and use a trick that I've used over there. I've used it over there. And digging underground has allowed us to kind of push out to a bit further on each side. So really, we'll be getting a lot more extra space in here. In fact, I say that this is enough, but I could even make it a bit smaller and go down, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, but that's a thought, you know? That's a thought I could use. So, I won't keep you guys much longer while I plan this, because I think you probably could learn a thing or two about me planning, but I feel like it's probably just a thing I should do and walk you guys through it as I go. I've made some changes, some very big changes. In fact, it was out here a bit earlier, and now I've moved it in just a little bit. It's looking a lot better. So basically what I've decided to do, and this is actually, because of the nature of this, I find it a lot easier to build this way. I'm busy building the frame, as I just mentioned, but originally I had a door planned for this part here. But I've decided it might be a bit better for me to do this, well, at least try it out. Trying out building in modules, and I've decided to start with the roof, to kind of merge these together. So I want to make sure the roof is somewhat easy. It's actually an even numbered amount of blocks, which is a very weird number for me to be building with, but I think we can make this work because of the door that's going to go in there. But while we do it, I thought, you know what? I've been thinking about things for a bit recently because we recently, I spoke about it about 2 episodes ago, about the change of the textures of blocks in Minecraft, and I don't want to speak about that, but it's got me thinking along the lines of what is a good change? What is a change that you guys would like to see? And that's what I would have thought. Like, what's a change I would like to see, really? But I mean, if you guys have got any thoughts on what you would like to see in the game, I'm interested because I've got some really weird things that I thought would be, well, kind of cool. I think my favorite thing that I would like to change in the game, and I've spoken about this on stream a bit, but probably not as in much detail because I haven't actually had time to think about it when I stream. But now I was thinking about it, and if I could add any one thing to the game, I would say probably a new biome. That would be my favorite thing. If there could be a brand new biome to the game, I reckon that would be the best possible thing. Because think about what comes with it, right? You get a brand new biome. Why am I stuck on that? You get a brand new biome. Not only do you get new places to explore, but you also get brand new blocks. And I was thinking, what would be a cool biome to be building? And all that I can think of is probably one that has got 2 new tree types. That one is a very colorful tree type, and one is a somewhat plain tree type. And the only thing I can think of is sort of a cherry biome. Like one which has like a bunch of pink leaves and things along those lines. And it also drops cherries. I mean, how about that? Think about that. You get a bunch of cherries dropping from trees. That would be pretty cool. Get a new food source. You get a brand new bunch of dark planks, like a reddish plank. That would be really, really cool. And if you could have another tree in there, I'm not too sure what other kinds of trees could grow in there, but one with really light, like a almost white plank would be amazing. Think about that. That would be really, really cool. A brand new white plank. I think if that was the case, there would really be pretty much nothing more for me to be asking for. That's just what I've been thinking of. I've like little ideas like that. I know they're not really necessarily going to happen, but I think they're cool to think about. And basically, more towards my first question I was asking is, what would be a good change? You know, this is vanilla Minecraft, and we've got to think about what is the best thing to change. Is something worth changing? Can I make that jump? Yes, I can. Is something worth changing, or is it weird to be changed? I feel like that would be a fairly vanilla thing to add to the game. I mean, it's not like you're adding a motor to the game or something like that. You know, it's a fairly simple thing, and I reckon it'll be a very fun thing to see. So hopefully one day we'll get a brand new biome. These are just my wishes. But besides that, I've also thought more along the lines. I mean, that's the biome is a very easy thing to think of, you know, because you've got so many blocks you could potentially add that it's kind of cheating. If you could add like a block, if you could add a new entity, if you could add something like that. But a biome means you can add so many more things. So I guess if I could choose one thing in particular, I'd have to just choose one thing. Then that would be a bit more tough. But I feel that perhaps something that would be very, very different from the rest would probably be the best idea. You know, something completely out of the blue, weird. And there is actually something that I was told in a stream, which I thought was a really, really cool idea. And that is well, I don't know if it was just kind of me elaborating on the idea, but I thought what would be really, really cool is a block. Okay, that wasn't very smart. But a block that basically acts similar to a banner. And I'm not too sure whether or not it's even possible to add a block like that in, but could you imagine how different the game would be if you could, for instance, instead of making terracotta blocks, because it's kind of obvious, I wasn't the biggest of fans of terracotta blocks, but I feel like this could be a redemption for them, you know, if we could get terracotta, glazed terracotta, that is. If glazed terracotta looked a little bit different, and we had blocks that you could, for instance, add your own banner designs to, or something along those lines, that I could see that block being in the game. You know, I feel like that would be something that could be improved to the game and get rid of the glazed terracotta and make it something that you can customize. I reckon that would be really, really awesome. And by the way, no wood around here. I think we should be alright. That's a block gap there. I'm kind of thinking I want to put that one down. I don't want to see these flames. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to build an oven. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to take a bit of damage. No, good, I managed to shift properly. Bam. Alright. Let me just go outside. I think there's a pillar over here that could get hit. But picture this, right? You've got a basic block. It's a very, very basic block. Say you could paint on concrete blocks. That would be really, really cool. And I guess I'm kind of cheating because I'm not adding one block in, but it's a single block that could change. So instead of having like just your normal concrete, you could, for instance, put it into a crafting table, add a stripe across it. Put it into something else, add like a little bit of a fade across it, you know, kind of like what we did with those beacons. Just something similar to that. I reckon that would be really, really cool. And it would actually make terracotta blocks be something of a useful thing in the game, in my opinion. Glazed terracotta. Although I know a lot of people have adopted them, and I've tried, and I've managed to get it to work in a few situations. But I reckon that would be a lot more vanilla of a way of doing it in some weird way. I feel like that could be a really, really cool thing to add. But besides that, as I say, what makes a game vanilla, and I feel like that could also push that modded side, you know, push something that should be in a mod versus in the game itself. Yeah, I think I might pull this out one forward. Let me try this. I'm kind of just freestyling this build, by the way, guys. I felt like building today, and I think we're doing that. I think we're doing a proper build today. Just like that there. And this is actually something I quite enjoy doing, just freestyling, checking out what's going on, changing things up here and there. That's how I like to do it. So, there, and there. Very messy builder. I've generally got absolutely no structure to how I'm doing my builds. Well, actually, I kind of lie. There's sometimes structure to it, but most of the time, I kind of just go with whatever I'm feeling like at that moment. So let's just do that there, that there. All right, that's right. And now the Elytra destroyed. What do you know? What do you know? I've actually got to go check up on our mending villager, seeing if we're going to get one soon. But I still have had no luck in getting a single librarian, in fact. All of them have been white-coated cartographers or white-coated librarians with absolutely no trades until you open up the trades, and they've still got nothing. So we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait. And by the way, here's something else. You guys seem to enjoy my finish in yesterday's episode. I hope you guys did. It was it was a fun thing for me to do. I thought, you know what? I've got one extra thing. Why not put it to good use or bad use? Yeah, you decide. But I thought it was good use. Okay. That feels a bit like one. Perhaps I can put one of these on here, just as if it... Oh, trapdoors aren't flammable, I think. Because I'm pretty sure I've tried this out before. Let me just try lighting one. Yeah, they're not flammable. Oh man, I'm out of food. Okay, let me just double check that nothing's burning. These are the things that I would be worried about. That and that. It's looking alright. I think it's going to be fine. So I could just go ahead and fill this in. Perfect. This is something I've been practicing around with a lot, is getting fire to not burn stuff down, because I always was worried about fire. I'm always so scared about fire burning my things down. I've burnt down too many builds in my time, and I think it's a good thing that I've been practicing with them. Yeah, that's not going to burn. I reckon it's going to be alright. So let me put one of these on, because this is meant to be an oven that a baker would use. There. And then I want to put it on a front door to that. So the front door, I might even have to run back to the main base. But I might actually, yeah, I've got some in here. Perfect. We'll just drop that in there. We need 4 of those. And bam, bam. Here we go. And also maybe a lever over here. Perfect. All right. So what I'm thinking what we'll do next is, once we've done the... Oh, snap. I probably should have done something about that, but that's all right. That's easy to fix. We don't have to have that as stuff all the way. I thought I could hear something burning. I hope that's not the case. So we do one of these, like... Actually, I can make this sit like that. Never mind. I was actually thinking I might just put this... I might just keep this over here without the lever, but I think I like the interaction. Maybe we'll just keep the lever over here. We'll do this like that, and... I don't think I can actually power this block. These can get bud powered. How's that? Let me just do that. Let me just save this right now. There we go. Right, maybe I'll just do the piston trick. So basically, the piston trick. If you guys are ever wondering about the piston trick, let me show you the piston trick. Man, I really need food. I really should have got food. I've got nothing on me right now, so I'll have to go and get some a bit later. That's all right. That's not a problem. So there we go, and we've got a lever already. So that's all right. That's fine. So the piston trick is basically what you do is you power this thing up. So you do this here, put this over here, put that over there. And then all you do is you put that there, power it, unpower it, and now you've got that stuck on that side without having to actually power it. Perfect, right? I think that's gonna work. I think it's gonna work. I think this is just a very plain build right now, and I've got to spruce it up a little bit. Maybe a few supports across here, maybe a few things, for instance, the counter and stuff like that. And I'm also debating whether or not having a little stall out the front here would be kind of cool. Because I'm also not filling this window, guys. I'm not filling this window. Let me do this. There you go. Let me just get rid of that. I'll put in some other blocks here, but yeah. Definitely not filling the window. So what I'll do is I'll get some more things going. And probably do a little bit more on the inside. Check that out, and we'll see how it comes out. I've done a few improvements to this place. Now, this is what it's looking like currently. And by the way, this is kind of weird. I never realized these things did it. But these trap chests, well, not trap chests, sorry. These minecart chests, what are they? Minecart with chest. What they do is I like to move them to the side. I thought that was a cool little trick. But after some time, look at this. I'll just push it like that. It's on its side. It's going to go straight again. Well, now it probably won't now that I'm telling you guys that. But it was going straight earlier. And it's very, very annoying because I got these pointing in the correct direction that I wanted them to. And I think they just kind of get used to the block they're in and fit in that block, which is sort of a little bit not what I wanted. So by the way, I was messing around because I had those pistons from me moving that thing in my inventory. And I was wondering, is there some way to use pistons in a build? Is there some way to actually incorporate pistons into maybe not this build, but a build? I've tried around with that with small details, but I feel like I'm missing something on pistons because I've never actually used them on an exterior, but they've got some really cool texture on them. My opinion, of course, but look at this, right? They've got this really neat little thing. I understand I probably could get away with the block, but I feel like this mixed in. I don't actually have a. I actually need to get this for what I was thinking. But that mixed in with a bit of a like extension on it could be really, really cool. Do I not have a thing? Don't have a lever. All right, there, and don't make me throw stuff out, please. I'm gonna have to throw stuff out just to get a lever. That's right. There and there. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna be messy like that. But this, I reckon we could do something with this. That little piece there. There's so much stuff. That's 2 blocks worth of stuff in a single thing. I think that is something I need to work in. I want that as a challenge. My next challenge. Challenge myself in building, and that's gonna be it. So what I want to do now, by the way, before I get too distracted, is I want to make a little bit of a crafting table here. It's always useful to have a crafting table. And I've kind of gone a little bit messy with this design, and I think it kind of works. What we need to do is put a crafting table there, put that there, and get rid of those. I don't even know why I had that pickaxe in here. So I want to get some bread. I wanted to also get some pumpkin pie, and not only pumpkin pie, I also want to get a cake. I think that'll be really, really good. There you go, some bread. Maybe tilt this loaf a little bit more, like that. And I'll get another, I guess I'd get another loaf of bread and put this out on the front. Just as a bit of a sign for where the bakery is. I'll get one there, and I'll get a pumpkin pie over there. So those are the next challenges, which means I'm going to have to go milk some cows. I'm going to have to get some buckets to milk some cows. And I'm going to have to go get some sugarcane and eggs. So it's going to be a fun time. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like this build is not planning out the way I had wanted it to. It's looking a little bit plain. And I've tried my hardest to try get in a few little things, but it's just not... You know what? I mean... Everything that I'm about to say, set that aside, but I don't think it's a bad build. I think this is a build a lot of people would be happy with, but I feel like we could do better, and I'm not too sure what it is that I'm just missing on this. There's something that I'm missing, but one thing that I think could help is this chimney that I'm about to build right now. Let me just make sure it is in the correct position. That's not actually too important. Yeah, that's the correct position, and... Was that? That was just one of those. Let's just do that. Whatever. That's fine. That's fine. Alright, so... How about we get going on this? It's not going to be too crazy. I guess we do something like that. Bit of this. Oh, you know what I've forgotten? I've forgotten to bring my my brick walls. Not brick walls, the stone walls. Now there's a block. There's another block, man. All I'm doing is thinking about blocks today. I actually thought about one between 2 clips, and I forgot to remember it. Yeah, you know when you forget to remember things, you know what I mean. I forgot to write it down because that's generally a good idea because I forget things like anything nowadays. But it was a really good block. Just believe me, it was a good block, and you guys would have loved it. But it'll pop back into my head. But it was one that you guys would just be like, yeah, that's something this game needs. This is something the game would benefit from. And let me get the walls quickly over there, and they are in. Right there, I just found them in this. Oh, I didn't even just find them. There you go. Now I just found them coincidentally. What a coincidence. All right, so there we go. Bam. There, perfect. All right, so that goes up over here, and we've got ourselves another endermite. I get so many of these endermites spawning. It's ridiculous. All right, so here we go. Let's just test this out, right? So because we're practicing fixing up the whole working, where is it? Fixing up with the whole not getting this thing accurate. I feel like it would be better off coming up this side here, but I can't do that. I guess I could. I guess I could be sneaky and not have it completely accurate. And I could put it in over here. Let me just check this out. Oh, man. My inventory, my hotbar is so messed up right now. Let me just do those. And get rid of that, that, and that. From the back, how does that look? I mean, if I just do that, and I won't remove that, and then I'll put that in there. I know it seems kind of silly, but I feel like that could work. Actually, I'll put this over one block. This is just me messing around with things, because sadly, not every time you build does it turn out completely the way you want it to, and this is one of those situations where I would love this to not be right there, but sadly that's just the way it is. So let me do this here. Oh no, thank you. And this over here. So magma block, that's a bit too close. We'll have to go up one more. We just have to hope that this doesn't go too crazy. And I wanted that one. I need to do this here. Okay, I'm going crazy with the buttons I'm pressing right now. So this one over here, here, please. There we go. Thank you. And that there, wonderful. Then we can do something like that, and like that. And I realize I'm actually not necessarily going to do something with those cobblestone walls that I so desperately needed. All right, so maybe something along these lines here. And I think today we can successfully say we've freestyled a build. And I fixed my elytra, by the way. That needs to drop one block down. And then I need to get a little bit of a bulge out there. So we can sort out this piece. Oh, okay, maybe these could come in handy here. Like that. I'll fix up the bottom of that. Then, of course, as I don't have any ender pearls left, I'll have to do this. Just because I don't want this to have a full thick block on it. I just don't want to see the fire coming out of it necessarily. I guess you can kind of see it through there, but that's a proper blacksmith, you know? That's meant to have fire coming through it. Give me some particle effects, please. I'll take some particle effects right about now. Like, think of it from here. Like, this height. This is what we're looking for. That'll work. That'll work. It's very odd looking, but I think it will definitely give you that idea that it's a chimney. And, there we go. Perfect. I was going to say, maybe I've put the fire out. That'll work. Perfect. All right. So, I think for today, guys, I'm going to leave it at that, because anything more I'm going to touch, I'm going to just keep breaking things. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's a little, kind of a different sort of build, I guess. My next plan, actually, is going to be to build in there. Those two houses there. I've got a cool little plan for them or that one. I've actually, maybe I could change over to that one. But I've got a cool little plan, which I've got today, that I think will be a really, really good thing to add. And also another thing which I wanted to add before I always do this. I always want to, like, end the episode and then I'll remember something that I wanted to show you guys. I want to do something like that. Maybe that could help. It seems a bit bright. In fact, if they can change that, that'll be great. Man. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to add those just because it's the baker. I might add another one of these blocks every here and there. Like one, maybe I'll just leave it. They're a bit too yellow. In fact, this is something I could change. But that'll be it for today, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And I will see you in the next one.